Hello, my friends. This is my new video series, my thoughts on whatever. On this particular video, this will be my thoughts on the people of China and, something that is called a rebel independency. First of all, I'd like to talk about the song in the background that you will hear in the background. The name of the song is called Chinese Democracy by Guns N' Roses. A lot of us wanted democracy to give us freedom and not to have any of our rights be infringed upon, because that's what democracy is supposed to give you. Democracy has proven to grant more freedoms than the republic, I do believe. But neither republic or democracy has delivered the types of freedom that people crave in every country, from the United States to India, out in the eastern India, that people want to have what's written in the bill. They want freedom, and there's just a lot of infringements and stuff that does not work out where you have a divided house. So here in America, we have a divided house, Republicans versus Democrats, and no matter what president we seem to get in there, there's a war on half of them trying to block what he's trying to do, if not three-quarters trying to block what the person's trying to do, and one quarter trying to get it to happen. So I ask the people of China to hear me out. First of all, you the people of China, stand in a better position to be able to seize control of China, because first of all, you, the Chinese people, a diverse people of many different bloodlines, you, the Chinese people, are the ones who have the power. You have the power. You have the power to be able to take over China anytime you want to, and make it, if you really want a democracy, then a democracy. But I told you about a rebel independence. A rebel independence is basically a country that is split up into states or divisions, that each division has a general over it, or in the ancient past, in the ancient China, before they started writing on oracle bones and keeping records, there were warlords or clans that had, which you will know better than a lot of other people, because in ancient Chinese history, from the times of three kingdoms, where the great nation was divided into three, and then before that, where they were divided up, and there was one spokesperson over each divided state or territory, ran by the various different war clans. So there's really nothing wrong with having things be divided in the right way. I feel that from what I've learned from watching YouTube videos and reading in libraries, in my past education, I found that Chinese people are tired of hearing about peace and security, and having the nation be one nation that's being held in the chokehold of a couple of communist crooks who have been beating, raping, molesting, murdering people in Tibet, and killing people, and beating them and torturing them, beating and torturing the Falun Gong, people who try to follow their religion in China, and beating Christians, and beating up Muslims, and beating up anything that they can. They're bullies, and they need to be stopped. I mean, stopped cold. So I call upon the Chinese people to rise up and to talk amongst themselves, and to realize that in the past, there's really nobody that could do anything. If you wait for America to come and do anything, America is too tied up in the Middle East, trying to, keep chokehold on different oil deals, and so that they can keep their corporate interest alive and use the military to fight their corporate wars. So they don't have time for sending all the troops from the Middle East over into Tibet and freeing Tibet. They just don't seem to have time for that. And we have great soldiers, great military, great strategies, but the leaders are always over there in the Middle East trying to see who can get more, oil, money, and power, who can have the best seat in that corporate game that's being played over in the Middle East. And the Middle Eastern people, they're even tired of it. They don't want anybody else over there. So I call upon you, the Chinese people, to stand up for yourselves as your ancestors have in the past, to be able to experience what it feels like to have a rebel independency, where the whole entire nation is run by the people, with one spokesperson for each state, with the power basically spread across the entire nation, and that it would be conducted that way. And I borrowed this form of government that I'm offering to you from ancient China, looking through the oracle bones and the writings. And so this is what they did. It's the way that they lived, the ancient honorable way. And they still traded. They still got on boats and went everywhere that they wanted to go. But they had more freedom with there being division. Even though there was wars between tribes sometimes, what good does peace and security do the Chinese people if the only people who benefit from that peace and security is a handful of crooks? Is my question to you, the Chinese people. What good does peace and security do for the young children who cry up to God when their parents are being beaten by illegal occupants from Chinese military and police who are beating people in Tibet and beating them just because they can? So the cry has been loud out of Tibet and out of the Chinese, people who have been not happy. The farmers are not happy out there in China. I can believe when I look at the YouTube videos that you are not happy the way your government is doing it. And so I ask that you remember what happened with the former revolutions of China. They had to take away the government and make it another government. And unfortunately, after all your ancestors who died, it ended up being an imperial emperor dictatorship that is not fair. It's just so similar to the things that your ancestors died to make sure it didn't happen to you. It's now happening to you. So I ask respectfully that you will continue rising up and knowing that your number is greater than that of the government who does not serve you and does not serve you the way that they are supposed to. They also have infringed upon the sovereign rights of a sovereign nation, Tibet, and should be brought up on war crimes and crimes against humanity and put to death. So I will tell you again, the Chinese people have the power in this day and time, in the number in this world, to be able to accomplish the greatest feat of this century by taking unto itself the power and the reins to become the first rebel independency of China. I'm glad to talk to you, my friends. I'm glad to be able to present you with radical ideas, because this is where it all starts, is an idea, and then people bring it to life. Already you have the idea of life alive when you revolt against unfairness, no matter who and where it is. So I will stop here with my video series. Again, the name of this video series is My Thoughts on Whatever. And in this particular video, I gave you my thoughts on China, the unfair government that is bringing a bad name to China, and what I think about the stress and pressure is put on the Chinese people as working class, middle class China. You are the bulk of China. You, the middle class people. You are the ones that makes or breaks China, not those couple of handful of crooks that are trying to keep you running on the rat wheel. So remember yourselves to have pride and know that your ancestors were great people who had honor. And I hope that you will do what you should, the same thing that they did in the new revolutions of the 21st century, in 2014 and 2015, to prepare for themselves the way of the kings of the East. So I appreciate you looking into this, and we'll talk to you again in my next video series. Thanks.